Hello everyone. Welcome to the Simulation Flow channel. Today I thought we should start a new series on the channel. We're gonna learn together the Cabri G2, or at least we're gonna try to. So first thing we gotta do is setting up controls for helicopters, because MSFS has very specific controls for them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the settings, controls options, and then what you should do is you should take a default profile for like an airplane or something, and you should duplicate it. So like I can take the joystick heli profile that I have here for my pedals. You can go to open preset manager and duplicate your profile. So do that first, because you need that for all your camera movement assignments, and you don't want to lose all the other assignments. So you should duplicate the profile before we're gonna mess with it. So after you did it and name it however you want, I just name it joystick heli for the pedals, my stick and my throttle. So if you don't have pedals, you can use the twist on your stick, but preferably you should have pedals for helicopter flying. It will be more realistic. So things that we should change. So on the joystick, we need to go to flight control surfaces, primary control surfaces, and then you have set cyclic longitudinal axis and set cyclic lateral axis. So initially you will have both. This will be like your joystick movement forward, backward, left and right. So this will be by default the elevator axis and aileron axis. So you will find the aileron and elevator axis. You will delete the assignments for your joystick, and you should go and search for set cyclic longitudinal axis, set cyclic lateral axis, and just set them. So you can control your helicopter. So lateral is left and right, and longitudinal is forward and backwards. So after you did it, and after you delete the assignments for the elevator and aileron axis, so that's very important, don't forget to do it. In fact, I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. So it should be, let's see, so if we go to all and we go to flight control surfaces, so we should find, so we should find the axes. Like for the rudder, you need to delete the assignments like I did here, and other than that you should delete all the assignments for the elevators and the ailerons, so it won't get messy. So you see aileron axis have nothing assigned to it, and elevator axis again nothing assigned to it, so do that, very important. So after we set the very basic control for the helicopter, we should go to the throttle. So I have X52 throttle. So what you need to set is cyclic. So the cyclic longitudinal axis here is wrong, because it's like a default stick assignment, which I don't have the stick. So ignore this. We already did it. If you did it, it's good. What we should do is go to helicopter throttle axis, or just helicopter. Yeah, helicopter throttle. Oh, sorry, throttle axis. Wait. So you should set helicopter throttle axis on whichever device you want. I actually set it on my stick because I have a slider there. So this needs to be set, so I'll show you exactly where it is. So yeah, there it is. So you should set the helicopter throttle axis, which is not your up and down movement, it's just the speed of the engine, the speed which the engine will spin. And you should assign this to the Cabri only, because at the moment there are limitations for other helicopters. So this throttle axis should be assigned currently to the Cabri only. Other third-party helicopters will go through them later, and they don't use these axes because they don't have compatibility yet. So you should set it, slider, knob, whatever suits you. So after we did it, now we should go to the throttle quadrant, and here what you should do is set your collective, which is your up and down movement. So if I can find it, yeah, there it is. So collective axis. So in simple terms, the collective is your going up, going down movement, you know. So you should set it to like your main throttle, which you use in a fixed wing aircraft, and that should work. So after you did it, you should go to the trims. So we have up and down, we have forward, backwards. Now we need to trim the helicopter because, as we'll find out, helicopters are very hard to fly and they require trims and constant trimming basically, because they're not stable. So what we should do is go to trim. So I'm gonna search for trim and I'll find it right here. So should be okay. Wait, I did the other way. So we should search. Sorry. You should search for rotor trim. Okay, so now we have the longitudinal trim, lateral trim. So again, longitudinal is basically forward, backwards, and the lateral is left and right. So the set, you should do the set. What this will do is will set the trim to default. So let's say you come into land and you need to set your trims back to default because you know the helicopter isn't trimmed. So this will reset your trims on both like the longitudinal axis and the lateral axis. So after you set those, preferably these all the trims should be buttons. But if you can find access to it, you can. But I don't think you should do it. So we have increased rotor longitudinal trim, which should be, if I'm not mistaken, it should be. Let me check. Okay, so it should be trim backwards. So it's a little bit confusing because it increases and decreases and not forward backwards. So the increase of the longitudinal trim is basically backwards if you want to trim the helicopter backwards. So again, set it to whatever button you want, really. Decrease is basically trim the helicopter forward. And the last thing we should search for is the trims for left and right movement, which I have on my joystick. So let's see. Again, we should search rotor trim. Oh, sorry, just rotor. We'll give it. So again, you have lateral trim. So you have increased rotor lateral trim, which will basically trim the helicopter right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm sure it will trim the helicopter right, and decrease will trim it left. So again, I have two buttons on the top of the joystick which are left and right, so it's really easy. Whatever button you use is good. So yeah, set it up, and I think we're almost ready to go. Let me just check some stuff so we don't miss anything. So I think the last thing we should do, and again, do this only for the Cabri. This assignment will be only available for the Cabri. You should go to search. I have it on my X52. It's governor. So the governor basically automatically controls the engine RPM, which I will explain in the startup tutorial later. You should set it to a button. It's basically one button, so it should be by name the governor, which is toggle. You want to toggle it on and off. So it should be toggle. Yeah, it's toggle engine. There it is. So this one, toggle engine governor switch. So again, set it to a button. We'll use it later, and I'll demonstrate exactly how this works. And I think that's it for setting the helicopter up for your flying. Again, I created specific profiles for the Cabri because we have controls here that we don't use on other third-party helicopters. So I hope this one helps you in starting getting up in helicopters in MSFS. I hope my English is good enough, because I don't think it is, but I hope it is. So really give me feedback if it is good, if you understood anything, volume high, volume low. So I really could get all the stuff right before we actually get into all the flying, and you know, we'll proceed with learning everything we can about the Cabri. So yeah, that's basically it for the controls. So I hope it helped you, and yeah, see you in the next one.